Hey guys, it's Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to discuss some mental health type things. Um, this is a little bit hard and awkward for me to talk about because I don't really open up about this to a lot of people in my personal life. So talking about it on the internet is a little bit different, but I wanted to talk about how I've been doing on Wellbutrin, which is a antidepressant. And I have been on, I'm just going to jump right into it. I have a notebook with some notes and talking points I want to cover, but I've been on a whole journey with mental health, being diagnosed with bipolar, depression, anxiety, ADHD, just a whole concoction of things. And some I resonate and see more in myself than others. Like the bipolar I don't really see in myself, but the depression, anxiety, and ADHD definitely do. And I've tried a bunch of different medications. I'm not going to list them all, but some of them made me I didn't feel anything, no change, better or worse. And then there was one that made me super anxious and feel disconnected from my body. Made me feel really dissociative, and I did not like that. So I got off that very quickly. And then now I'm on Wellbutrin. So I documented the first day I took it, and that was April 6th of this year of 2023. And I started out on 150 milligrams, which I think is the lowest you can get here in Canada, at least. And I started out with 150 milligrams every day. It is a little bit of a stimulant, so my doctor recommended taking it in the morning, which is what I do. And I noticed a little bit of improvement. Still kind of low, just very low mood. Didn't think very highly of myself. I just felt very stuck in the same place, very stagnant. I didn't see myself going anywhere. And the deep, dark dreading kind of lifted a little bit when I started 150, but I wasn't there. It didn't give me as much as I kind of had hoped or wanted. So I went back to my doctor about 3 months later. We gave it a good 3-month trial on the 150 once a day. And so I went back, made an appointment, and then we didn't want to jump right to 300 every day. So what we're doing and what has been really working and that I'm still doing is 150 one day and then 300 the next. So alternating 150 and 300 milligrams. And that has made a whirlwind of improvement in my life. This is where I'm going to kind of read off of this because I documented some of the benefits and some positive things that happened in my life. So I feel like I have a better baseline if things happen in my life, because I still get upset, shit still happens, and I still get frustrated, annoyed, angry, all of that type of stuff. I still feel all the feelings. I'm just able to regulate my emotions and bring myself back down or up, however you want to look at it. I'm able to come back to a solid baseline where I'm not wanting to kill myself every day. So it's just nice to have that baseline that I can come back to more easily, and it doesn't take days for me to get over a little depressive episode or letting things affect me indefinitely. Sorry if the angle changed. I had a delivery that came to the door, so I needed to go answer that. But as I was saying, I have less severe spiraling. I'm able to kind of cut off those thoughts a little bit easier, or at least acknowledge them and kind of redirect my thinking, or self-soothe to an extent, kind of not examine it more closely, but kind of, and just have more reasoning behind my thoughts and get myself out of that spiraling and cut it off before it gets too deep. There's also been a slight decrease in my anxiety and my mental fog. I don't have as many racing, anxious thoughts. This kind of leads me into my next point. I'm not dulling my confidence. I used to be a very, very confident person, and I might come across that way on through my videos. But in person, for the longest time, I was very anxious. I wouldn't really talk to people in social settings. I would kind of keep to myself, wouldn't really talk unless spoken to. But now I'm kind of finding my groove again and getting back out there and letting myself be that confident person I am. And I don't really know what happened that diminished or dulled my confidence, but something did, and I'm kind of getting that spark back, and it feels really nice just to go out there and talk to people. And I don't really care if I say something that might be awkward or I'm doing a lot of the talking. Like someone has to kind of lead the conversations, and that used to be me, and then I got like insecure about that and stopped. But yeah, now I'm just being able to find my confidence and not letting my anxious thoughts take hold of every social situation. I'm also able to kind of zoom out and see the bigger picture of different situations and not be so like microscopic and nitty-gritty. Kind of seeing like, yes, the small things matter, but take a step back and look at it as a whole. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but I can kind of see my life from like a bird's eye view almost, and not just super in the moment impulsive decisions. I'm kind of thinking about my future more, and I actually see a future now for myself, and that is exciting and also very, very terrifying and scary. Like there is a future for me. I don't really know what it holds, but there is a future out there, and I'm excited but terrified. I'm able to be more compassionate and more understanding for people. I think that's because I'm out of my own head and I can see the bigger picture. I can just understand where people are coming from, be compassionate to their situations, and in turn, that allows me to be more compassionate and understanding towards myself. I have very few in the bed days. I heard Leo, I've mentioned him a couple times before. He has the podcast Aware and Aggravated. He talked about this in one of his podcasts, and like the thought of being like in the bed, like when you're in your bed, no one can bother you. If you're scrolling on your phone, you can answer people or you don't have to. You have no obligations. You're just in the bed. And I would do that when I was depressed. I would be in my bed. I'd be on my phone scrolling social media, but I wouldn't answer people. I wouldn't take care of myself. I wouldn't follow through with obligations because I was in the bed. When I'm in the bed, I'm unreachable. I'm cut off from the outside world. I don't participate in my life. I'm in the bed, and that's all I'm worried about, is staying in my bed and being sucked into the vortex that is my phone and cutting myself off from all of human civilization. So I don't have very many in the bed days, and in fact, I don't really know if I've had any designated in the bed days. There have been some like afternoons or mornings where I'm a little bit slower to get going, but I do get going, and I like put more effort into answering people and into getting out of bed to brush my teeth, to wash my face, to let the dogs out, to take care of myself and my life. And that is another thing, is I am now actively participating in my life. I am being more involved in my hobbies. I am making decisions for myself. I am setting myself up for a better future, for more success, and am just taking hold of my life. I'm making more use of my time, like reading more. I'm back riding horses, taking the dogs for a walk, exercising. I'm just actively participating in my life and not letting it just pass me by, and not letting other people make all of the decisions for me and for my life. And I'm making these active decisions with confidence and for myself, not really letting other people influence me. So those are some of the positive mental effects I've had. I have also had a few, I wouldn't really call them negative side effects, but just a little bit of like a little tick or I don't know, just like a little thing about the medication that I've noticed. And that is around like noon or like midday, I start to get the shakes. My hands shake, and I'm just a little bit like twitchy kind of, but like it doesn't last long, and it's just about midday. Also, the amount of caffeine plays a huge, like the amount of caffeine I've had plays a huge role in that too. But even if I like kind of minimize my caffeine intake, I still kind of get the shakes and feel it most like in my hands. I can see them shake, but that's me shaking my hands. But like a little, like sometimes my heart flutters a little bit, not like heart palpitations, just like a little flutter sometimes, and not enough where it's like discouraging me from taking it or that I'm scared or anything. And with that like fluttering feeling, I sometimes get a little bit restless, feeling like I need to just kind of move around a little bit more than usual, or that I need to be doing something with my hands. And that also, I think, is, I don't really have like mental anxiety, but I wonder if like some of my nervous tics come through physically now more so than like being all up in my head. And that's like picking my fingers a lot. Like it's getting really bad again where I like pick my cuticles. So I wonder if that might have something to do with it. Like my mental state is more clear, but it's just kind of like manifesting itself into like finger picking. If I don't take my meds for a day or two, I do get a bit of a headache later in the day, like around midday again, or like in the afternoon. Nothing like too severe, but it's definitely a headache like that I've noticed. And yeah, that's usually if I miss a day, typically 2 days in a row. Like sometimes on the weekend I'm really bad about taking my meds, and that's when I notice it the most and when I get the most like out of whack. If I do miss a day or two, I feel kind of like not disoriented, but just like a little bit lost, and that I don't have that structure and like that clarity of having like following my tasks and the plans and the structure. I also think it's worth mentioning that with being on Wellbutrin, I'm also on Concerta. I think it's like the 18 milligrams. It's like the lowest dose possible. And the Concerta is for ADHD, and the combination of the two, I have more motivation and able to like focus more and better time management I've seen, and like getting myself to stick to deadlines that I've set for myself, not necessarily like the outside like school deadlines. Like for studying, if I want to be done by a certain day, I can kind of hold myself a little bit more accountable. Also, I don't know, I think this is worth mentioning too, because this has definitely impacted my mental health, with deleting social media and going to therapy more consistently. I'm just able to better regulate my emotions. I feel lighter and better about myself. I'm also more able to focus on myself and my wants and needs, and not focusing so externally, like getting that external satisfaction, validation, that kind of thing. I'm able to find it like within myself a little bit more. Yeah, that's kind of just wanted to summarize up everything. So I started taking Wellbutrin in April, and it is now July. So that's like 4-ish months. It's been a long process, and I'm excited to see the effects like continue to like get better and more improvements. And along with like going to therapy more often, I hope that'll help too, and it definitely will. It already has. And yeah, it's not a fix-all, that's for sure. Like bad things still happen to me. I still have my shitty days. I still have days I don't want to get out of bed, but it just gives me a little bit of that to get out there and do it. And because sometimes I lack that just on my own, and this has been really helpful, especially with school coming to an end and things getting more stressful there. It's been nice to have this as a tool to keep me on track and to keep me from like slipping back to my old ways, I guess. But yeah, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. And if you need to reach out to someone, please do find a hotline or something, or reach out to your doctor, family, friend, anyone that can be there to support you. And if you have any questions, I can only speak from my experience. I don't know anyone else who's on Wellbutrin. At least that's not like openly shared with me. But yeah, if you have any questions or need any like further information, I will try to answer and provide that if I can. But anyways, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.